my gosh, we meet again. The Eric Zane Show podcast is happening. Thank you for being here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. From the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio, Baldwin Ace Hardware, a beacon of DIY awesomeness in the Northland. I will be in the Northland at Fear Bunker North. 10 acres of pristine Crawford County forest. In the middle of the 10 acres is a patch of land that I've been going to since 6 weeks after my birth, maybe less. In my baby book, my mother wrote, took baby Eric up north for the first time. That is where it has been in the family since my dad was a young man. He sold the property and everything on it to your old pal EZ. And it's probably the best thing that's ever happened to me. Never forget that moment. We're up there. He's already slowing down considerably, and he still had plenty of wits. I mean, my dad still has wits now, but he had more then. He's a little pained. He's like, I just can't keep this place up anymore. I go, oh, yeah? What are you going to do? He goes, I think I'm going to sell it. I go, oh. I didn't say anything. And he goes, do you want to buy it? And I said, yeah. I go, how much does it cost? And he says a price. And I said, okay. Sounds good. No haggling, no muss, no fuss. All right. Now, on the day that he actually sold it to me, he did raise the price on me. And I think that might have come back to the wits thing. I think he had forgotten what he agreed to verbally. And so when he presented it, because we actually hired like a title company to do the deal, and it was like $1,000 more than what he quoted me. And I go, is this right? He goes, yeah. Uh-huh. I go, oh, okay. I didn't bother to, I don't want to be the guy to quibble with your father. I said, oh yeah. Silly me. So the place is identical to when I was a little boy. It's how like when you get old as fuck like me, maybe even less than old as fuck like me, you kind of always want to go back to the nostalgic things, whatever movies you enjoyed or games you played. You go back to that whole when you were young. This is what this is, except it's fucking dense forest and birds and bobcats and coyotes and fucking campfire. It's the shit. People say to me, oh yeah, man, that's good hunting ground. You hunt? I go, no, I don't hunt. What am I, a fucking animal? No hunting. The fuck? Well, what do? I pick up sticks. I throw them on the fire. This one guy, Sean, who lives a couple clicks over, says, I don't know what it is about when I come up here. He's a retired cop, retired detective. I don't know what it is when I come up here, Eric. When I come up here, the shit that I hate to do at home, I enjoy doing up here. I go, I know it. These toothless, meth-headed losers that live up here, they don't know how good they have it. We used to have an issue where people used to break into the trailer and vandalize it, the one that's still there now. And then the fucking idiots who these people were, there's a stunt that they attempted right by about a mile and a half away. There's an intersection where it's a county line road and then a less traveled road in intersection. And they thought it would be hilarious if they did like a suicide run through the intersection without stopping at the stop sign. They were very, very drunk. And at a high rate of speed, they just blew through it. And sure enough, they got T-boned, and the car rolled for like 100 yards. I mean, it was bad. And the guys who stole, these are the guys who stole shit from us and vandalized the trailer. Well, they're dead. Like bodies flying out of the thing, and there's still a makeshift memorial set up there for these two knuckleheads. And as soon as they died, the property stopped being vandalized. So, I mean, I'm not exactly happy when people died, but I pretty much made an exception on this one. I said, hey, that's on you, you fucking idiots. Jocko, got killed while stealing shit? Good. Thank you, Nick. Nick knows. Nick at the arena. He's got property in the Northland, and he keeps buying more. He's like a Northland land baron, is what he is. If you can buy even just because acreage is cheap up there, buy it and just put a tent up. That's all you got to do. Bring some water, some food, tent. It's just a place to get away, unplug, and, dip out. It's the shit. However, it's a working vacation for you. It's not even a vacation. The whole deal is I'm doing the show from there. More on that in a second. And then when I'm done with that, I've got a regular day of, getting that place ready because I'm going to have people up there in just a few weeks. I've got to do some painting of all things. Oh, my God. Clean up all the mouse carcasses inside of the trailer. I'll have 4 dogs with me. I'm bringing them all because no one can watch them. I've got their little GPS trackers in case they get lost. Fuckers. So that is pretty much what's going to take up my time. Now, the internet that I have there, as you all know, there will be a show. Now, the absolute worst case scenario, and I don't think this is going to happen, is that the video live stream pukes, and then I just post an audio podcast. You will get a podcast, but for some of you who enjoy the show live stream, as it happens, video live stream, I give it about a 5% chance that something bad could happen. Though I'm right next to the modem, right next to where the satellite dish grabs the data and shoots it out into space, sometimes it's a little fucky. So, fingers crossed that things... I've even got backup ways of doing it. I might even just do it with, this iPad, which is completely possible. That's how I used to do this show. When I started on this show, I did it with a cell phone. Hang on, I got to drink this. Holy shit. Almost went down the wrong pipe. Stand by. When I started the Eric Zane Show podcast, literally a cell phone. And no microphone into it, so you heard the room. It was bad. And then the microphone that I had did not go into that. It went into just the audio, just recording the audio completely separately. And, I stepped up my game a little bit, but not that much. It's just barely acceptable. So in the event that we go old school and use the phone or the iPad, I think it'll still be better than that first day here. But all right, fingers crossed. Enough of that. I'm going up Sunday. All right, Sunday I go up there. And then Monday show, Tuesday show, Wednesday show, Thursday show. Okay? Some show notes as well for this week. No Ben and Eric this week. Ben is in that fucking disaster scenario where he is in Wisconsin doing some... further technical training for his job for 8 hours a day. And then he has to do homework. And I said, hey, do you want to do Ben and Eric today or on Thursday? He goes, yeah, sure. I go, what's your schedule like? He says, well, I gotta do that, and then I got homework. Oh, dude, I go, fuck, dude, no, you're not doing the show. Punt. We will do no Ben and Eric, but I'm gonna get a guest roaster for Who Are These Zanes, and that is guest roaster Ryan. Now, typically when we do Who Are These Zanes, I'm the only one who's pulled clips, and then I just introduce them to Ben. On a whim, I approached Ryan. I said, I'm going to send you 15, 20 minutes of raw material. Please pull whatever you want. Make your show notes, your notes on the clips. Don't share that with me. Just number them 1 through whatever. Are you good with that? He goes, yeah. So for the first time ever, I think this is show number 23 of Who Are These Zanes? Maybe 22. I don't remember. The co-host has pulled the clips. And the only reason why I never did this with Ben is I'm just afraid of getting these people to commit to too much time. But I decided, what the fuck? Let's just try it. And I guess I can let Ben decide. He's a big boy. But so maybe that will be in the future. This is a test run for it. I've never experienced this since I know all the clips going in. This time I don't. Ryan is going to host his own clips when we do Who Are These Zanes. We're recording at 7 today, and I will drop the show on Saturday. Typically midnight, sometimes a little later. Depends on how busy I was the day before, but expect it on Saturday. Something else. I was on Compound Media's Would You Kindly show yesterday with someone who I really, really appreciate. And I think we kind of mutually appreciate each other, but we're too afraid to look like fanboys. Like, I'm a huge fan of E-Rock from Compound Media. And for that, the Opie and Anthony show. And I'm not a fan because of the work that he did on that show. It's just, I'm a fan of the person. Nice guy. Really, really sweet dude, and professional as fuck when it comes to his opinions on things, because I've heard him on Who Are These podcasts. Got a great sense of how shit should go when it comes to presenting whatever. So, being that he runs Compound Media, and Anthony is the talent, and he puts all of his trust in E-Rock to take care of all those shows, and to rein him in when he's saying crazy racist shit. I struck up a kind of like a kinship with him upon visiting there a couple of years ago, and I've been sending shows, I don't know, maybe 6 times a year. And so he has his own show, and he goes, hey, come on my show. This is like on Tuesday. I go, all right, that sounds good. And I've been on it before, and it's basically a shoot the shit show with E-Rock and from Tell 'em Steve Dave, Brian Johnson, who I've really started to like based on just the interactions we have on the show, because I didn't know who the guy was until I mentioned this one time before. And Amanda, who's right here, is a huge fan of everything Kevin Smith and all in the Kevin Smith universe and shit like that. And he's part of that. He's been in several of his films, and just a funny fucking guy. He's very deadpan and dry. He's on, Amanda indicates, a part of the Comic Book Men show. And so we got together yesterday. And the plan usually, because they've done, hundreds of these shows. And so we get together, and typically it's like set him up, knock him down, news story, crack some jokes about it. And there you go. Amanda indicates, since she knows a thing or two, he was the inspiration for Randall in Clerks. I'll have to take your word for it. I've seen that movie once. I liked it, but I couldn't tell you a single person in it other than Jay, Silent Bob, And the guy who sings the fucking Berserker song. All right. So the point of the show, you get around and you shoot the shit for like 90 minutes. And we had all of our little stories ready to weigh in on and present to the audience. And then we didn't do any of them. We just started fucking batting around shit about various podcast wars between Zumock.
And then I get fucked by two dudes. This is real life shit, and I'm walking that fucking walk. I got fucked by two dudes while I was walking around my neighborhood today.
Zumock, Carl Anthony, E-Rock, and Shuley, all these people that are part of this whole low-level podcast war. Steel Toe, that name might ring a bell. You know who's not mentioned in this podcast war? EZ. And that fucking pisses me off. Because I started the whole goddamn thing. Well, technically Carl did, but I was the first person ever to go hard on Zumock. Big time. What are the other names? Kevin Brennan, Bob Levy, all part of this. And do I get mentioned? No. I'm so low that I can't even get people. Cardiff, yes, thank you. I can't even get people to tell me to fuck off. That's how low I am. Fuck me. So we chatted it up for like 90 minutes of just shooting the shit about a lot. In addition to that, we talked about a lot of other things. One of the things I talked about with Brian's just a little bit older than me. And really kind of a classic face, handsome dude, but a long beard. And, grizzled like me. Lines in his face. Old. Brian is married to a 29-year-old lady named Mary Beth, who is one of Carl's review girls on Who Are These Podcasts. And I'm really curious about that. I mean, I have said on this show that when you start to do, like Free Beer, for example, he's like 52 and his wife is like 30 or something like that. And I've talked about how disgusting that is on this show. Well, Brian, it's even a wider amount of age. And so now I don't want to offend Brian and say that's disgusting. And so I held back because I wanted more details. And Amanda, right away, she says, no, it's because Brian's young at heart and Free Beer's just an old fuck. Yeah, probably because I know how fucking how much of a beta Free Beer is. It just annoys the shit out of me. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Or maybe just because I can't stand that fucker. But for some reason, it works with Brian, and I'm not grossed out by it because I said to him, I go, dude, can you maybe explain what's going on there? And he goes, we've been together 7 years. He was 47 and she was 22. Woo-hoo, boy. And I guess this started with, he was doing something to do with the TV show or something, but she was a fan, like Amanda. And she visited like a show or a meet and greet or something like that. And it was all just, Kenny writes, that's fucked. And it was all very, hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. Oh, well, that's great. I'm so glad you like the show. And then that's it. And Linda indicates, I've had a bigger age difference than that. Yeah, well, I forgot about that stage of your life, Linda. I'll get back to that in a second. You talked about it on the show. Weren't you 11 and the guy was 79? It was really stark. Amanda says, the thing is, Brian is very smart and witty. I can see what she would see in him. Linda says, he was 52 and I was 25. Yeah, that is definitely a big age. That's the biggest. You trump Brian. And then just a couple of glances, I guess, here and there eventually led Brian to say, hey, let's go out for coffee. And that was it. And then I guess he dropped her off at home and said, well, okay, hey, see you later. I guess she had moved to the area somehow or some weird twist of fate. I'm getting some of this wrong. But he indicated to me that she then kissed him. She went in for the smoocheroo. And he's like, whoa. And he's managed to figure that shit out. Incredible. And here they are. Corey writes, and then they totally fucked. Yeah, I don't know about that. Let's try to keep this above board. You know, I barely know the guy. But anyway, so I kind of like started interviewing him. And then we talked about Shuley, and I said, hey, I like Shuley. And he goes, oh, fucking shit. No, I hate Shuley. I go, why do you hate Shuley? And he then explained a bunch of stupid reasons to hate Shuley. So then E-Rock tries getting Shuley on the show. And I'm like, yes. And so that they can work this so that Brian can, I guess, tell him that he sucks or something like that. I'm not sure. But Shuley declined. He goes, dude, I'm not going to go on your show just to have somebody I don't know, because he doesn't know who Brian is, tell me that I suck. And then I'm kind of like, oh, you fucking pussy, that you should have done that. That's when you lean in. Because whenever someone says, like, I'm always convinced if someone says they fucking hate me, that once I get the FaceTime, I'll win them over. Every fucking time. As soon as I get face to face, it's like what I told you. By the way, hold on, I got to put a pause on this. You know how it is. Darla's looking to get down. There she goes. She just jumped down. It's time to go potty. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. At every show at about this time, since we've gotten her, at about this time, she has to go to the bathroom, has to pee. But this time, she got down and immediately started drinking water. And since I mentioned that, she hasn't stopped drinking water. It's like she has never drank water in her entire life. But I definitely do not want to go and start unpacking the rest of this story and whatever my take is, which I'll probably forget by the time I get back up here and start talking again. All right, I got to interrupt her. One little turd. I guess my question for Linda, when she was 25 and dude was 52, did you ever at once think, because you were like, oh, this is the one, I love him. Did you ever once consider that at some point you'd be sucking a 75-year-old's ding-dong? Like when you're still very viable, when you're still actually making fresh eggs, you'd be like, oh my God. The fuck? How could you not have contemplated that? Jesus. You foolish fuck. Tyler says, loose skin and old balls. Gross. Linda said, I knew I wanted a child, and that wasn't possible with him. Well, how do you know? Was he shooting blanks? By the way, that puppy right now is seated hilariously with her back paws sticking out. I got to take a picture of that. Hang on. Send that to Jackie. Well, everybody. Into the group text. Hang on. What the fuck was I going to say? Oh, shit. It was important, too. Oh, yesterday. Darla here. 13 and a half pounds. She is growing rapidly. It will not be long until I cannot carry her. Young Adam Schwab writes, I have a friend who married a rich dude 30 years older than her. 3 kids later, she moved out. Oh, God. I didn't know that you knew Huge's ex-wife. That might be. I think Bill married a lady a lot younger than her. I think they've been divorced for like 10 years, and I think she's only like 21 right now. Speaking of which, I will be on the Huge Show today. In fact, out of the 5 iHeart radio stations, I will be on 2 of them at the same time. I'm filling in for Mike on an afternoon drive on Big 101.3 today. Voice tracking, of course. And I will have recorded that after this show ends, earned my $12 an hour. And then I will be on the Huge Show starting at 3 p.m. today with Bill. I would tell you what we are talking about, but I have no clue. Being that it is a sports show, I'm guessing it would be something to do with sports. Bill will be there. It'll be us together. So at that, whenever we're together, I try to fuck with him, is what I try to do. And so that will be taking place again. So today, very, very busy day. So then after I get done with that, I rush home and then throw some food down my throat. And then recording Who Are These Zanes with Ryan. Tyler says, is Huge's show also $12 an hour? No. Bill is a separate entity. He rents out the studio space. He works for a network called the Michigan Sports Network with some dude named Marty Boer. Marty pays me, and it's much more than $12 an hour. All right. What else do I have for you to start this show? Okay, we got guest roaster Ryan today. Would you kindly? We talked about that Huge Show today and tomorrow. Oh, boy. Jackson Mahomes. Oh, my God. I am so excited about this story. This is Jackson Mahomes. He's the brother of Patrick Mahomes, who his career is to be the brother of Patrick Mahomes, I guess. And he, like every young person, he does fucking TikTok videos all over the place. The one in particular that was that pissed a lot of people off is when they were at where the Commanders play, then known as the Redskins. Sean Taylor was the guy for the Redskins who died unexpectedly, and they had a big tribute for him, and they put the guy's number on the field and put some chain around it, and they presented it to the fans in the game that they did it. The Kansas City Chiefs were in town, and Jackson Mahomes goes over to Sean Taylor's logo right after the family's there crying on the field, and he does a dance on the logo. He does a dance on Sean Taylor's number. Great. That's all this guy has done is these stupid dances. Doesn't do anything else. And he's annoying as shit. When it comes to Patrick Mahomes, he's terrific. He seems like a really sweet guy, and he's a terrific player, and he's going to go down in history as one of the best of all time when it's all said and done. But what's holding him back is this family of butt fucks. His mother's fucking weird. His wife's a pain in the ass, and the brother is retarded. Bunch of assholes. Kyle says Mahomes is a boat. Now, is that similar to goat? Are you suggesting he is best of all time? Okay, so that's the new thing. They're referred to as the boat. And by the way, you wrote Mahomes is a boat. So if I'm reading that, it would be Mahomes is a best of all time, which you sound like a Nigerian scammer if you write it like that. You'd have to write Mahomes is the boat. I guess that's what the kids are saying these days, huh, Kyle? I don't know. Fuck it. Okay, but in February, that dude was in Overland Park near Kansas City, just out of the outskirts of town, and he was at some restaurant. And I guess the guy was waiting on the table. The accusation is he ended up shoving him. And then the owner of the place, I think the restaurant is called like Aspen's Cafe, and her name is Aspen. She's like, hey, don't push him. And then he walked up to her, because he's really tall. I don't know if he's big, but he's a tall dude. And he overpowered her, police say. And he put his mouth on hers and gave her a deep kiss right on the mouth. So they're like, what the fuck is going on here? He leaves. They call the cops. It isn't like a quick turnaround where they go, like if you or I did this, we'd have been arrested that day, and then we'd already be serving our prison sentence right now. Maureen says, ew, that's sexual assault. You are correct. Because that's what he was arrested for. This all started to percolate in March, and word started to get out that this may have happened. Finally, he's been arrested on a warrant for aggravated sexual battery. They arrested Mahomes at around 7 a.m. yesterday. Booked him into jail. $100,000 bond. Allegation. 19-year-old male waiter shoved, forcibly kissed the 40-year-old owner. Mahomes' attorney issued a statement 2 months ago about all of this. And 2 months ago, Brandon Davies, the attorney, said, Jackson's done nothing wrong. Our investigation has revealed substantial evidence refuting the claims of Jackson's accuser, including the statements of several witnesses. We have reached out to law enforcement to provide the fruit of our investigation so that they may have a complete picture of the matter. That was 2 months ago. Well, yesterday, the cops said, hey, thanks for the complete picture. We're going to go arrest him now. And that's what they did. Going viral is a video of Jackson Mahomes after he gets sprung from jail. See, this is why you got to be careful. If you're going to spend all of your time being a fuckface and then you actually do something that's illegal, you're not going to look so happy and cute when you're on camera this time. And what's interesting about this fucking dick, Jackson Mahomes, I think it's pretty. It's an interesting comparison for someone who seeks out his camera all the time to show the world. Does not want to be seen by the camera and certainly not heard as he is walking out of the police station to his car. There is a terrific twist at the very end of this video. The final word of the quote is cut off, but boy, do I love it. And so does everyone who watches this video. Here you go. Audio check, video check.
Dude, I can't talk right now. Keep pushing, keep walking. Anything you want to say to the victims of these crimes?
You know, if you was a real black dude, they would arrest you along.
The guy shooting the video says, you know, if you was a real black dude, they'd arrest you alone.
Dude, I can't talk right now.
Watch this look he gives the reporter. It looks so weak and pussified, right? Right there. Look at him. He's like, oh, no. Oh, you pussy.
Anything you want to say to the victims of these crimes?
And then this.
You know, if you was a real black dude, they would arrest you along.
Oh, God. I don't know. It seems like nobody likes this guy. You know? Kenny says he ain't dancing for the camera anymore. Chris says, oh, little pussy boy can't handle the heat now. Okay, the comments are just terrific. My God, if you look at the, this has been reposted like millions of times, and everybody's got a great joke. Walk of shame. That one is the N-word. I don't want to say that. What is this TikTok dance called again, says Jacob. This one I don't get, but it's probably funny. We are really living in a Boondocks episode. LMAOOOO, the end. Dave writes, go TikTok that shit, you little fucker. Raider T says, wait till the end. Laughy emoji, skull and crossbones emoji. Andrew writes, dude at the end has been holding in some hatred. Where are you? Where is your dancing now? The reporter at the end of the video. LMAO spit. Out of pocket. Watch till the end. Somebody wrote, it's too bad that the camera cut out right when the guy got cooking. Phil posts Ray Liotta laughing his ass off. Goodfellas GIF. LMAO, I did not expect that. Why isn't he dancing and acting like a 3-year-old? I'm dead. This is the journalism we see in movies. I want to see more. Dude wanted attention. Now he's getting it. If you're Patrick, though, fucking this guy has done everything right. You know, they often say it's family. You got to do right by family. Yeah, I do not subscribe to that. You know, in my opinion, I've said this many, many times. Family is overrated. Aram says, will he need to register as a sex offender? Don't know. You know how it's going to be. It'll probably be a plea down. Something ridiculous will happen. If I'm Patrick, these people he needs to distance himself from them. Patrick and Andy Reid have fucked families. That's true. That's probably why they're so tight. My God. Ohana. Ohana means family. Maureen says, good thing he has a rich brother-in-law to bail him out. He'll get pled down to parking tickets. Kyle says, look at Darla. She's watching you. Hello, Peanut. Hello, honey baby. Hey, big girl. Hi. Oh, yeah, she loves her daddy. Old Harvey Dent there. That's her nickname, Harvey Dent. Okay. So I'm just tickled to death that this happened. Pain in the ass, Jackson Mahomes. What a little bitch. And I love all those reporters. You know, do you have anything to say to the victims? And he knows. The reporter knows he's got him by his little teeny tiny fucking testicles, which are probably small. My God. All right. Moving on. This show available, of course, on Twitch in its entirety, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. If you're watching on Facebook and Twitter, it's time for me to cut you off. If you go, though, to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live, you can get the whole show live stream in its entirety. You know, I don't care how you get the show. If you get it through Twitch, that's awesome. I appreciate that. If you do it, please follow once you get there and subscribe if you could by linking up your Amazon Prime account and then hitting the subscribe button and off you go. That way you have no commercial interruption on Twitch. Otherwise, they want you to pay a few bucks, which I really don't push that. I don't want to be the guy that asks you for money all the fucking time. But that is an option if you prefer, or just sit through the commercials. Totally up to you. If everybody could head to any podcasting platform that they use and subscribe to the Eric Zane Show podcast, that would really help me. And it doesn't cost you a dime. Whatever podcasting platform that you use or maybe you don't use, please still subscribe to the Eric Zane Show podcast. You will get downloaded shows showing up. You can always delete those if you don't listen to them, if you don't want to eat up the space on your phone. But you subscribing to the audio podcast and getting my show downloaded helps me. I actually get, I'm not kidding you, a couple of pennies for every single one of those. So essentially that helps keep the lights on. All these little things that you can do to help your old pal Easy as an independent podcaster go a long way. I'll tell you that right now. Facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page. Twitter at Eric Zane Show. Follow the YouTube channel. Follow all this shit. You know, wherever. I got t-shirts, ericzaneshow.com. Click merch. Check often. They go on sale quite a bit. Price drops to like $16 a t-shirt. It's incredible. I have nothing to do with that. I just post them there and then they sell them. And I get like $1 a t-shirt. Patreon. Probably the biggest piece of this puzzle. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. The future home of Who Are These Free Beers? My latest clip review show. Who Are These Free Beers is coming to fruition now. More on that. In fact, on this show today, I'll be playing Kelly Cheese's new laugh track, which I debuted on Patreon yesterday. And in case you missed it, it's worth it to go back. But that is just a foreshadowing of what is to come. My new show on Patreon being created as we speak. Who are these free beers? And I'll tell you this before I say goodbye to the folks on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. If I can give you a homework assignment. If you hear something that you're like, oh, God, Zane would have a field day clipping this portion of the show, send me the day it happened and like when in the show it happened. Like if there's a timestamp or if you can just even figure when in the show. Maybe just describe what they're talking about and give me a roundabout time that it happened. I'll take care of the rest and I'll clip it. And then we will review the excellence of that show, which right now is the golden time for this. And it isn't anything personal. It's more like just how heinous they're being skewered by their audience in such a heinous way has led me to creating this so that they can hear from from my perspective, what they're doing and why it sounds like shit. So I will be reviewing that in the same way like Joel McHale might clip the news or Carl might clip Who Are These Podcasts, or hell, me clipping Who Are These Zanes. So we'll be doing that very shortly, coming up with Who Are These Free Beers. Unless, of course, I get sued. But because of fair use laws, I can't. You can clip shows and present them to a different audience and review, which is what I'm doing. And so I just can't wait for that. Okay. So for those folks on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Check out the full show, of course, whenever you want later on. After you head over to Twitch, or check out the audio podcast on your favorite podcast platform. All right. Facebook and Twitch brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Twitter brought to you by Blue Frost IT. Chris says, Zane, I just sent you a shitty edit of Kelly's laugh track in your mail. But it's what I think every time I hear the original. I don't see it. Oh. Now I do see it. Chris writes, Kelly Cheese, laugh track. What it reminds her of. He says, sorry for the shitty edit, but I'm no master of this. Hey, I appreciate the effort. Before I do that, I should probably pull up the original. This is Chris's. All right, yeah. Won't you listen? All right now. That's what I did yesterday. That's not bad. You did well enough. I did it to Led Zeppelin because I heard something that she, in one of her laughs, that sounded like Robert Plant to me.
Hey, mama said the way you move gonna make you sweat, gonna make you way you shake that thing gonna make you burn, gonna make you Hey, baby, when you walk that way, watch honey drip, can't keep
I think that's a keeper.
All right now.
I'm actually gonna keep that on the button bar. Aram says, send that into the show. Don't they ask audience to make back with intros these days? I don't know if that one would be well received. Aram writes, I thought I saw somewhere on Reddit that Hot Wings did a hot take on the height of headlights. I almost asked them what the timestamp was, but it was even too boring to ask. I will say this. When Hot Wings does those, like when he does My Favorite Spoon, occasionally the other hosts will attack him over that and beat him up. that's actually good. You should. But what they won't do is every time, which they should, because every one of those hot takes are useless. So is the segment if they don't make fun of him. So once in a while, they will like, what the fuck are you talking about? And do that and maybe tell him how stupid he is because he is and how much it sucks because it does. But they don't. They let him get away with complaining about the height of headlights. Horrible. Kyle says, since half of the audience hates her, not the thing, I don't hate her. I think she's awesome. I think she's fucking brilliant. He says, since half the audience hates her, maybe this will make them smile. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that it has to be addressed. Okay, I'm going to bring in Kyle from Dumpster Divers for another edition of Let's Kill with Kyle in just a bit. But I need to make some money, so here you go. First off, I can't stress enough about how now is the golden time to sign up for Patreon because of the most recent announcement that Who Are These Free Beers is coming. This says this is something I should have done long ago. I'm looking forward to it. The only place you can get the full show for Who Are These Free Beers will be patreon.com. patreon.com/Eric Zane. Now, I might post snippets here and there on the free platforms so that people can sample it and then want to sign up for Patreon. But this is an exclusive show on Patreon. This is a profit deal. Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. I just had two people sign up yesterday. Nick, formerly known as Squarius, just signed up last night. Thank you, Nick. And Ryan B., who I think is signed up before, and he's back. So sign up for Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. If you want access to Who Are These Free Beers, the open and live stream of this show is brought to you today by Berlin Raceway. There will be racing this weekend. The weather is going to hold up, looking pretty good for racing at Berlin. If you want to get in on tickets, all you do is you go to berlinraceway.com and buy them. $14. Dirt cheap. In addition, big things going on at the racetrack. First of all, you get in for just $14, 15 and under free, parking free, bring a cooler in 12 by 8 with all the food you want. No alcohol, no glass. It's also $4 margaritas. Now, I know Sarah, Rook Ruck Roosh, when she was there with Brad, she was two-fisted. You know, $4 a margarita. And she said they're strong, real strong pours there at the racetrack. The drunker you are, the better the action is. $4 margaritas. Coronas are just $4. That's dirt cheap. A venue price for alcohol, $4 a Corona. What? $3 churros. I don't know what a churro is. For the Cinco de Mayo celebration. Is a churro like a snack? Yeah. Fried dough. So the Cinco de Mayo bash happens the day after Cinco de Mayo at the racetrack. $4 margaritas, $4 Corona, and $3 churros. Fuck yes. Fuck yes. At Berlin Raceway. Thank you to them. Blue Frost IT, the managed IT service provider for the Eric Zane Show podcast. If you have a small or medium-sized business, reach out to Blue Frost IT when you want to upgrade your tech. BlueFrostIT.com or 616-200-8550. Hello, Eric Zane. Hello, Eric Zane. Let's bring in Kyle.
Well, hello, Zane.
What up?
I got your fucking Twitch on, so I just heard you say that. So I had to answer the phone that way.
Yeah, it sounded like you were doing an impression of you.
Yeah, exactly. Doing an impression of me or doing an impression of you doing me, which is even better than me.
Right on. Well, it's funny because, the audience here, they kind of like write your words down. You've become quite a hit with the crowd here.
I'm trying to be like a next generation star for you.
That was your plan. I remember you kind of like have a real thing for the camera on your own Facebook page for the business. You do Facebook videos, and you actually have a following of people who love you based on your videos.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I will say, I mean, over time, I've slowed down a little bit on the videos just because we got busier in like other ways. But, if I can think of a good idea every once in a while, I'll throw it on there.
Have you had anybody who follows you on Facebook just follow you accidentally because of the videos, not ever like even knowing who you were? The way like Jackson Mahomes got popular?
Oh, yeah. That was like my evil master plan when I first moved back and rejoined, because, I mean, at that point, like our Facebook page was like nothing. You know what I mean? It was just like 40 people or like 100 people or something like that. So yeah, I started making those stupid videos so then people would like it. And then I would just open that up and then just invite everybody who liked it for like a long time. And that's how we got up to like 1,600 or 1,700 people.
More people watch those videos than mine.
If I get pretty wild out there and say some wild stuff, I'm telling you, dude, like during COVID, when it first started and there was like mass confusion in the world, I just was like making a bunch of videos, and everybody was like home and just fucking chilling. So that was a good time, dude. Well,
there's a writer's strike now, so all the shows are going to go belly up before you know it. So it might be time again for you to really go hard.
Dude, imagine that, dude. A writer's strike, and just imagine, like, we'll say, like, Conan O'Brien, for example, right? They just fucking hire me, right? And then you just see Conan O'Brien out there, and his monologues are basically just like, fucking this happened, and then let me fucking tell you guys about this. And that's all it is. It's just a bunch of F-bombs.
Yeah. I find it ridiculous that people who do shows like those talk/variety shows can't do a show without a writer.
It's funny. Well, number one, here's my theory behind it, and I've discovered this as doing however many episodes of my podcast as well, is if you don't have a plan on what you're going to talk about, you just get super fucking dirty and like you cuss a lot. So I get it, you know what I mean? Because if I was on national television with no writers, it would just be me like this, just cussing a lot and going, all right, what should I fucking talk about next?
I mean, literally what I do is write down like 15 words of things I may talk about, just like, whatever. Like today, Jackson Mahomes. And then if I get to it, I get to it. If I don't, I don't. Who gives a fuck? In my opinion, it would be hilarious and interesting. It might not be great, but it would be interesting if Conan or whoever, or whatever, name the guy, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. They said, all right, welcome in. We are not breaking the strike because we have no writers writing the show. We're just winging it. And I'd love to see that. It probably would be a train wreck, but fuck it,
You know what? The funny thing is, like in today's world, because I mean, obviously, what did I hear? This was like last year, I think, but I think someone said or quoted a stat that said there was like 7 million podcasts or something in the U.S. So like it's kind of like the thing nowadays, you know what I mean? So those people might actually get like a new following of just of like regular people like me watching, going like, you know what, that guy's just fucking struggling through it. So that's pretty cool.
I actually promote mine if I ever get the opportunity, like if I happen to be filling in on the radio, since every time you turn around, the radio station is telling you to listen to the next great podcast. I always say mine's terrible and to listen to how terrible it can be.
And the funny part too is like Saturday Night Live, for example, right? Like whenever I watch that these days, like 100% what I think about is the writers. And I'm like, come on, guys. Like, here's the fucking deal, right? So like you got like the 80s and the 90s, which was clutch times. Well, in some of the 2000s and 2010, but like clutch times for Saturday Night Live, right? Like they were just, I mean, in the 90s, obviously you had the all-star cast. We don't got to fucking talk about that, but it's like, okay, society has gotten like way more edgy and like way more wild since then, right? But like Saturday Night Live's like jokes have gone like more conservative or like more stupid. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like why not? Why not ride the wave, dude, and just make Saturday Night Live crazy?
Well, yeah, the idea is they're afraid of offending. In my opinion, the only place where you can get truth and honesty is in the Wild West formats of online content.
You're right. 100%.
I mean, and I'll be totally honest with you. One of the reasons why I keep it the way I keep it isn't because I'm some, pioneer and patriot of podcasting. Nobody pays attention to what the fuck I say. So I literally can say whatever the fuck I want. If I suddenly got super popular, I might have to rethink that if I actually was making millions of dollars. And, people who would have seen me in the days of now, they would no doubt be like, okay, he's selling out. And I'd be like, yeah you're goddamn right I'm selling out.
And the funny part is, like imagine this, like the text you sent me last night to confirm you're going to call me today.
Yeah, read it.
Hey, are you ready? Oh, yeah, actually, let me put the exact text because I don't want to butcher it, even though I'm pretty sure I have the essence of it. But you said, fucking, all right, where's Eric Zane's name? You said, yo, tomorrow is a wet pussy Thursday. Are you in? So they're not saying that on Saturday Night Live. I'll fucking say that.
No, and I write that just to try to say the most ridiculous thing that is not true, and just to get the reaction out of you. But in my opinion, the world was more funny when it was when they were dropping racist jokes and gay jokes and shit like that. As long as it's not steeped in hatred, I love it. I don't give a shit.
Oh, straight up. I'm right there with you.
All right. Now I mentioned Jackson Mahomes a couple times. Did you hear about what that fuck did?
Yeah, I was clicking through Facebook last night and saw like that Twitter video or whatever. I'm like, you motherfucker.
Did you hear the one guy say, if you was a real black man, they would have locked you up a long time ago or some shit?
Oh, that's fucking, this is exactly what we're talking about. That's edgy. That cuts right to the fucking chase.
Oh, God, was that awesome. Yeah, and that look on his face, what a little bitch. He did it. That fucker did it. It's a shame it took, and this happened in February. If you and I had walked up to some chick at a restaurant, pushed a kid, and then put our mouth on another woman, on a woman like that, oh my God, we'd have been already serving our prison term.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I know that shit takes way too long. Man,
yeah, that was fucked up. So that's kind of like what's bubbling under for a good portion of today. What about in your world? What do you have cooking?
Well, let me fucking, number one, I got a bunch of headlines, which is cool. But let me tell you this little fucking personal story that your old pal Kyle just completed recently.
Yeah.
So, Blue decided, very smartly, I will say, that you can do little things to like upgrade your house, and like you can like turn your house into a smart house, which like raises the value of it or whatever. So, long story short, she got us a Ring, right, like a Ring doorbell. And she's like, all right, fucking install this thing, right? So she has no like mechanical abilities whatsoever, and like no knowledge on how any of that shit works.
Okay.
So the beauty of that is, and you know this as a guy who's also married, when those projects come up, she doesn't say anything to me about how I should be doing it because she doesn't fucking know, right? So I had complete control of this project, which was cool. So I'm getting the fucking Ring doorbell ready to go, right? Now, you have to like attach like a bracket, I guess you'd say, to your house that the Ring doorbell sits in, but you got to like connect the doorbell to it. And so what they don't tell you is when you do that, you have to like connect your electrical wires from your house to the Ring doorbell.
Correct.
But the screws that they do, there's nowhere in the manual that says these screws are only like 1 centimeter in length, right? So, like, they're tiny fucking screws. So they're like,
all right.
You could say somewhere like, hey, don't loosen them up too much, because they're gonna fucking fly out of the ring and they're gonna get lost, right?
Okay.
Which I didn't. So I'm like unscrewing it so I can connect the wire to it. It just rocketed these fucking 2 screws like out of the ring. And I'm outside, and they're tiny, and they start, like, they hit the ground and start going towards my stairs outside, which has, like, in between the little steps, there's, like, holes and shit. I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. So, like, both of them are, like, bouncing, and I, like, throw the ring and fucking, like, run towards the stairs and, like, just barely grab these 2, the tiniest screws you ever seen before they were lost forever. And so that's how my Tuesday went.
Well, I'm glad you got it. It's remarkable that you didn't lose them.
I know. Well, yeah, that was just a quick. I mean, I got like pretty big hands, I guess you'd say, and pretty big fingers. So it wasn't a great task for any human who's not a child to do. But got her done, and then last night Blue's friend came over. So
hold on before you get to that. You're getting murdered. When you were telling that story, the hairs on the back of my head started to go up.
Too long.
Yeah. I was kind of like, we're getting a lot of details. And then I was that was confirmed with a lot of indication on the chat that they hate you over the length of that story.
Oh shit! Well, hold on, let me do this then. Boom, boom, boom. All right, now check the chat.
Fuck you guys.
Yeah, no, my bad. I hate that. I started talking and I was like, I can't just say the story like, hey, I fucking almost lost the screws because nobody's going to care.
Yeah, hey, whatever. You're still green. I will tell you that was horrible. It was absolutely one of the worst, pointless things I've ever heard.
All right, that's fair enough. I guess the point of the story was once I got the hook set up, Blue's friend came over and I utilized it for the first time, and I talked through the ring and was like, fuck off.
Yeah.
As she was trying to come in the door. So that's it.
I want one of those. I really do. And is that it? You just hook the wires up to it, attach it, and then don't lose the screws, and then you're good.
Yeah, you download like the app or whatever and connect it.
Is it expensive?
But yeah, you can. So you can get like a Ring doorbell. You can get like a smart thermometer or whatever in your fucking house, like a Nest or whatever those things are called.
Yeah.
And like I think a smart lock on your door or something like that. And then if you do those 3 things, your house is considered like a smart house. And then it fucking raises the value, dude. So you should try it.
I've got a smart 9mm with hollow point bullets. And it's so smart, it knows to go in the guy's face the size of a dime and leave the back of his head the size of a softball.
That's just good hollow tip bullets right there.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. What else do you have cooking, Kyle?
All right, listen to this, Zane. I'm not even gonna. Today is today and yesterday, I guess you'd say, and May 1st have been ripe with fucking crazy stories around the world. And I'm not even gonna read these stories. I just gotta read. There's like great headlines just to fucking riff off of. So the first one we got here is wheels in motion for next Philly naked bike ride in August. Have you fucking heard of this before? Possibly.
I think it rings a bell.
Yeah, just a fucking bunch of people get together and just get naked. They got like a thumbnail here on the AP News or whatever of just a bunch of naked people on bike. And it's dudes. And that's really why I wanted to talk about it, because I mean, I've never been naked on a bicycle, as you can imagine, but I feel like that'd be terrible because you'd just be riding and then your dick and balls would just be flopping to the left and to the right. And it's just got to be ugly, dude.
Yeah, I imagine that it would. You know, having ridden a bike a lot, when you have the bike shorts on, it kind of pulls it all in, but it still gets pretty fucked up. I mean, and if you
by it, do you mean the dick?
Oh yeah, and it kind of it's just a weird vulnerable spot. Women, you know, it's obviously nothing there, but this is a horrible thing that they have in Philadelphia.
I know. And it's like, why would you do? I can't imagine that there'd be spectators. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, who's like, hey, kids, like, we're going to go down and watch a bunch of tits.
If you look at the chat, if you look at Twitch, there's all sorts of images, and there's tons of, I'm looking for images of kids to see if the kids are getting a face full of cock. But
yeah, look at these fucking people, dude, just going wild.
This guy's getting look at this dude. He's so bare naked, butt ass naked. Yeah, these are people that shouldn't be nude. You know, people that look like me should not be nude. Like I would be the guy here with the crown. This fucking. I know
idiot. You got to be like, just imagine like the cops, right? Like, because if you're just a naked dude who's just walking around, you're fucked. You're going to jail. But if you're a naked dude on a bike, totally fine, dude.
This chick, my body, not yours. It's like, okay, come on. Yeah, this is kind of fucking weird. I don't want to know these people. This is gross. This is way too much skin.
But then listen to some of these other headlines here, Zane. Here's a tricky one because you can't really tell from the headline, but I did read into the story a little bit. It says, snake flip switch stops traffic in Virginia intersection. Which you get confused because you're like, what do you mean the snake flipped a switch? He hasn't got no fucking hands. But what they really mean is this snake climbed into a fucking electrical panel, like that controls the lights or whatever.
Okay.
It just got fucking fried, dude. It just shut the whole intersection down.
Oh, no shit. That's, boy, yeah. And so it probably killed the snake then, right?
Oh, yeah, you know that snake's fucking... Just, you know, and then I bet, and they don't say this in the story, but I bet like there's probably like some maybe some I don't know, maybe Asian people, but like any people that do this, but somebody probably fucking saw that snake fry and then tried to take it really quick so they could fucking make some food. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm looking at the article. That's interesting. It says that it's believed the snake had been living in the box for a while due to molten skin found inside. So you're right. It cooked it right up. That's incredible. That's kind of like my pal Joe Martinez, who's listening right now from A&E Heating and Cooling. He says, be careful when you turn on your fucking AC, because a goddamn squirrel might set up shop in there and have a whole nest, and you fry them when you turn the shit on. So yeah. All right.
So here's another good one. This one says greener pasture, and there's no way I would click into this story.
Oh,
it says
sorry.
Greener pastures.
I got to interrupt you.
Hopeful sheep cross Idaho highway. And the real story is how many fucking sheep made it. You know what I mean?
Okay, say it all again.
Oh shit! Could you not hear me?
No, I was distracted because here I think I fucked up when it said molten skin. I think what it was like molten as in it had shed its skin, not like I'm a fucking moron. That's what it is.
You thought it was like molten lava? Yeah,
that's what I thought. God damn it. That's very embarrassing. Thanks to whoever pointed that out. I think that was Chris. Shit. Oh, God. All right. Anyway.
You know, so I said, this story says greener pastures, 2,500 hopeful sheep cross Idaho highway. And I'm over here just saying the real story is how many fucking sheep made it. You know what I mean? Because there gotta be some fucking deaths there. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of sheep. I've actually got a video of it. That
you got a video?
Yeah. If you
Idaho though, right?
Yeah. I've got your story. And you know, this is how it looks. If you can see it. Look at these, God. And look at the one dude just leading them on.
I know this guy. He's just got a raging hard on right now. He's like, I'm fucking. Yeah. Okay. So this is like an event. This is not like they just had. The people are like guiding these fucking. Get these fucking sheep out of the road, dude.
I think this is something they planned on because look at all the people. And then there's those sheep herding dogs, which are just amazing. I love those dogs.
Hell yeah.
And then you're the sheep fucking like, get us off of the road. Look at all these sheep. Can you imagine? Now, everybody who sees this is like, this is so adorable. But these things are right now about 1 minute away from getting a bolt in their head. That's what's going to happen to these sheep, for fuck's sake.
I know. Yeah, they're fucking. Somebody needs some pork or whatever sheep
pork. I don't think it's fucking pork.
Yeah, I don't fucking know what sheep are, but I guess that's just what I thought.
I take it back because a lot of those sheep are just used for harvesting their what do you call it? Their wool.
Yeah.
But some of the lamb. A lamb is a baby sheep, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
dude, I tell you what, that was one of the fucking most confusing parts of elementary school. Is like you got sheep, you got lambs,
right?
What are those other fucking things that are like sheeps?
Goat.
You got goats. You got lambs, sheep. There's another fucking thing in there that I can't remember. But
I don't know.
Too many of those animals.
Well, I know that lamb. Yeah, that's a baby sheep, and we eat those. You know, that's like good eating right there. But it's one of the worst thoughts in the world. It's a bad idea to even consider where that food came from when you're getting ready to eat it, because a lamb is adorable. I mean, those are really, really cute creatures, and we're like, let's eat it. You know, you gotta kind of separate it. It's hard. It's hard to drum up the. It fucks me up until I taste how delicious it is. You know.
I know. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah. I mean, it's like, okay, it's pork. It's not bad, but I wouldn't say it's better than chicken. I wouldn't say it's better than fucking steak.
Wait a minute.
Like in the old days, just imagine like a guy trying to like sell like pork or like lamb or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, you guys are gonna want this. It's like the third or fourth best meat for sure.
So let me ask you a question: do you think that pork is lamb?
I fucking think so. I guess I don't really know.
No.
I don't eat much pork, to be honest with you.
No, you cock. A pork is a pig.
Okay, well, pork. Okay, yeah. Oh fuck, what am I thinking of?
I don't know. You said it twice, and everybody's killing you.
What the fuck is okay, you're right. Pork is pig.
Sheep is mutton.
Sheep is mutton. Okay.
Are you thinking veal? Are you thinking veal?
I'm mostly like I eat like steak and burgers a lot. You know what I mean?
Dipshit. Maybe you're thinking veal, which is a calf.
No, I'm not thinking of veal. I'm thinking of.
No.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know
pork
what
is
I'm
pork.
thinking of,
Pork can only be pork. Pork comes from a fucking pig.
Oh, fuck, dude. Okay, well,
Jesus.
I'm thinking of fucking something. I'll tell you that.
My God. All right. Well, that's all I need from you. You've done your job. This is fantastic. This has been one of my favorite episodes of this segment.
Just me sounding like an idiot.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I always sound like an idiot.
Well,
I'm chill about it.
Chris indicates that your mind appears to be blown by this, and it's just incredible. Tyler says, quote, I always wondered why they fucking called the Looney Tunes dude Porky Pig.
No, here's the fucking thing is I mean I know pork is pig, but I guess I just thought like pork was like a classification of meats like that included several animals.
Oh, okay. Well, that alone is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my entire life.
I'm going to find what the fuck I'm talking about.
Oh.
And it's probably going to be just me being an idiot.
I love it. I'm so happy.
Lamb.
We have come full spectrum here. Cole says, quote, I need some pig lamb chops. Oh, God, this is great. All right, Kyle, have a great day. I love you. And tell everybody from Dumpster Divers I said hi.
All right. I love you guys. Deucey.
All right, see ya. There you go. Wow, that was outstanding. Oh, shit. The first time was magical. The second time I was like, wait a minute, did he just do that again? I love it. He's great. Maureen writes, quit while you're behind Kyle. Holy shit. A lot going on there. All right. Let's regroup. You can hire me on Cameo, cameo.com/Eric Zane. It's been a little while since I've done one. They're $20, and they are the best cameos that could ever be done. I go hard on the cameos. So if someone's getting ready to celebrate a birthday, even if they don't even know who I am, I can make this special. Wedding anniversary, I can be as sweet and charming as you want me to be. Hey, I need PG or G-rated EZ here on this one because you're talking to a 6-year-old who loves you at the Griffins game, Eric Zane. Or I got this dumb shit friend who thinks that pork is lamb and lamb is pork. Can you please tell him how stupid he is? Yeah, I can do that too. If somebody graduates or some big achievement, perhaps I can congratulate them for you. I can do all the heavy lifting. All you got to do is go to cameo.com/Eric Zane or download the Cameo app and hire me. It's that simple. All right. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. If you are in the market for a mortgage, or perhaps you want to get some money out of your home now to pay off a high-interest credit card, reach out to Mario from anywhere in the United States except South Carolina, Maine, Alaska, Hawaii. 231-332-6505. I don't know if you heard my neck crack. Oh, that's a good one. 231-332-6505. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. NMLS number 3505. I saw Joe Martinez in the chat earlier today. Betcha la chingala, cabron. I think I'm saying that right. I think I said something nasty. Yeah, that's pretty much go fuck yourself.
Vete a la chingada, cabrón.
I just don't have the R rolling that he does.
Vete a la chingada, cabrón. Come mis nalgas cuando yo estoy cagando, cabrón.
I can't do it.
Comes chingo de cagada.
Comos chingo de cadagada.
Comes chingo de cagada.
Domos chingo.
Comes chingo de cagada.
Gomez chingo. That means eat tons of shit. But the crown jewel is if you can master saying in Spanish, suck my dick with your butt.
Lame mi palo con tu culo.
So, hey, lame mi palo con tu culo. I think I've nailed that. So the next time I'm at TC Paintball and it's another brownout because Gabe has a lot of friends and family that he brings, and they are all either Mexican or Honduran. Hey, everybody.
Lame mi palo con tu culo.
Hey, everybody, welcome. Lame mi palo con tu culo. And, you know, needle scratch, piano drop, crickets. 616-516-8579 for Joe Martinez, A&E Heating and Cooling. Lame mi palo con tu culo. Kyle says he needs to learn to say that. And that would be good because Kyle has sex with a dude. He's married to a man. You know, this show is very accepting of other people's, everything. You know how this is. I love everyone. And if Kyle wants to put his ding-dong there and say, Pale mi palo con tu culo.
Lame mi palo con...
Lame mi palo con tu culo.
Lame mi palo con tu culo.
Then I support that. It's not my business what people do in the bedroom. And if he wants to put his ding-dong where poop comes out, yes, I support that. I don't want to do it, but that's not my business. Linda writes, what I have not learned today, the difference between lamb, mutton, pork, veal, and beef. I'm going to teach you right now. Lambs, baby sheep, mutton, adult sheep, pork, pig, veal, baby cow, beef, full-grown cow. You should know that. But your brain is obviously warped. You married a guy who was 94. Or dated a guy. Did you marry a guy? Were you married to him? I don't remember. I don't remember what you tell me. You were dating a guy who was 94. All right. Where was I? What was I going to do? I was going to do something. Let's go around the radio. Shall we? Around the radio. Around the radio. Around the radio, yeah, yeah.
But not in a direct. The all.
In that particular passage of scripture. Since he's talking to my brethren,
that is,
he's talking to people already saved
Reverend Steve Harvey.
from the penalty of sin. Since they've not yet gone to glory, he's not talking to people about being saved from the presence of sin. Since they are alive when he writes them, as we are today, he's talking about saved in the sense of being delivered or rescued from.
Who really enjoys this? This. How can you listen and go, God, this is fucking great?
Used to be ain't care.
It's a song Jackson Mahomes would dance to.
And the other party that stands against.
Kenny writes, his dad listens to that. Let me just say, I would rather listen to your shitty music, Kenny, than your dad's shitty music. Classical music is absolutely horrible. It's the worst. The only time that type of orchestra arrangement, that type of music is enjoyable is when you're seeing your kids do it, you know? When it sounds like shit. Ugh, I hate classical music.
Time before. But you know.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
It sounded very praisey. Kenny says when it's the music for Star Wars, it's awesome. Well, that's a movie soundtrack theme. That's different. You know? I can't get pumped up by what we just heard.
Not offensive to me. Like, it's dumb. I'm just like, oh, you can't.
This chick, her name is Laura.
That one's offensive in any way. I just feel like it's just guys shit. It's like a guy showing off what he did. He's proud of himself. I see enough people do Pinterest fails that they post on Facebook. That's
yeah, tell me more.
I'm someone in my family.
I love those. I want to see all your cringes.
No, someone in my family that I cannot mention out loud. I don't think they'll hear it, but I'm still
Chris
not gonna
describes
say my
this
name.
as a nasal puker.
Someone in my family loves to get into every single Pinterest idea that comes out every month.
If you had to choose,
and they're very terrible at them, and they always post
if you
the
had to
results
choose
up, and I'm like,
between that and
You're going to have to give me that picture so I can follow it.
I will definitely tell you exactly who it is and show you some of them after this.
What would you choose?
Have you seen any crazy stuff online? You can DM us right now inside the Mix 95.7 app.
It's Big Joe and Laura here on Mix 95.7.
And don't forget to get registered to see Blink-182 on Tuesday in Detroit. That's right. We got your chance to win tickets right now on the Mix 95.7 app, so make sure you don't miss out.
Mix 95.7.
I'm glad we missed out. It's awful. All right. Sorry, I got confused.
The sky isn't even the limit at Nissan. Why be boring when you can make
developing baseball, how long it takes, all that kind of
No,
stuff.
I went into football because I didn't want to ride a
It never used to be that bad. It used to be 4 hard months.
You grew up in Troy,
Yeah,
Michigan.
but it used to be 4 hard months.
You grew up in Troy,
This is,
Michigan, the city of tomorrow today.
Michelle?
You should know this thing.
No.
And
that's not true.
Greg.
It used to be 4, maybe 5 on a bad month. Now it's 7 months. Oh, yeah. We never had snow this late into the year when I was a kid.
I haven't been able to get into this show yet. I've tried, and I'm like, I don't know.
What do you mean?
It's not really hitting me, you know?
Spring starts later.
I just think it's
Summer
shifted.
starts later.
I think summer starts later. I think fall.
I don't like the music under them. Why do you have to have music under you while you're talking?
Need some global warming in my life.
Whose idea was that?
Telling it.
The thing about that show is they don't talk like people talk in a conversation. It's so argumentative in nature. Even when they agree with each other, it stresses me out.
Always got it early April, but for the love of Mike, next week
work with us every day. That's some great growth. How does ProTech attract and keep great
Supply. Rate subject.
ways? We have several company outings.
That's
and
our
gatherings.
pals, Freeburn Hot Wing. I don't know what's going on Puddin's show.
The region, a non-Christian religious club that would be
That's,
safe and
Glenn
inclusive
Beck.
for non-Christian children.
Right?
He went on to claim that the programming undertaken in the name of Satan was open to all students, and it promotes the...
All right, I'm out. I'm out. All right. So a little bit more about the who are these freebiers? Puddin has been reduced to a 15-minute show for more Beck. Oh, I don't know about that. Chris says Puddin wants to be Glenn Beck. By the way, if I could give you a homework assignment, if you ever have the opportunity to call Puddin's show and get on and record it, and at some point refer to him as Puddin, I'm just anxious. I would love to hear the reaction. He'd know my voice the second I started talking. Is there an app I can get where on my phone where it like changes my voice? I mean, I know I can do that here with devil voice, but I mean, like, so it doesn't sound like that. So it just changes me enough and goes through the phone. I might have to look into that. Probably get myself fired. What else is new? Okay. That's what got the ball rolling.
Cars. Christmas, incredible. New York, come to Oregon, come here. Temperature, algorithms, incredible. For crust, cripple.
And then Nick in Albany, he's the one who tipped me off to this moment.
Steve, what did you learn? I learned, free beer, that you come from a long line of handsy dicks.
Okay. And that really stood out to me. And that led to the Kelly Cheese Zeppelin mashup. This all is part of the very beginnings, the humble beginnings of who are these free beers. I looked at my subreddit, which is very inactive. Nothing's really taken off on it. However, it's a great place if you want to talk about the show, my show, and I will interact with you. And people can have discussions. Like, for example, Nick, who's the dude who tipped me off about that clip, he had some questions about the NFK, and a lot of you filled him in. I saw that he was wondering who that was as he was just starting to get up to speed with this show, and allowed me to stop down and tell some of the magical moments in NFK history, which are too numerous to count, frankly, as he is part of our family. This person wrote yesterday, and I caught this, and I don't recognize who it is. It's a new poster who wrote, I just started re-listening to your podcast/show. Subject line, Madison screaming. And I would rather listen to your daughter screaming, okay? Sorry. In a car than a segment about how you load the dishwasher right or wrong, which was seriously a recent topic on FBHW. He says it wasn't funny. It wasn't meant to be informative. Just a bunch of uninteresting people talking about loading dishes in the dishwasher. Holy fuck. I wrote, you mean this is true? They actually did a segment about that? Can you give me a day, approximate time? I need to spotlight this on who are these free beers. Thanks for checking out the show. So this is part of like how we're going to be able to build who are these free beers because of interactions like this. Because of people that will be tipping me off to moments like this. So thank you very much. And then he tipped me off April 24th, 55 minutes, 7 seconds in. And Patrick, who is also a newbie, just recently kind of got on board. In fact, he joined us on the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. He lives in South Carolina. Nice guy. Been listening for years and years and years. Figured out or checked out the show at first out of Nashville, Tennessee, and has since moved. He recently got fed up with Free Beer and Hot Wings and came over to the dark side. By the way,
hello? Yeah, hi, Maddie. What's up? You sound like you're upset. Okay, I was able to gather out of that something about your mother is upset because your DS case is missing and you can't find it anymore?
How about that interpretation? Kenny says he's always amazed that I was able to figure out what she was saying so easily there.
Uh-huh. Huh. So I'm guessing that it'll probably turn up, over time. It probably just can't find it right now because you're rushing looking for it. Do you think it's gone forever? No, I don't think so, baby. We'll find it, I promise you. Me too. I want to find it too, but it might take a little looking. Okay, well, it sounds like you're having a rough start to your day. I'm sorry. Okay, I love you.
Love you too.
All right.
I'll talk to Mommy.
Sure, it'll be okay.
I'll talk to Mommy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, can you put Mommy on? Wow. We recorded that. It's awesome.
Oh, yay.
Very funny comments coming in. Bob says, all the times you've played this and explained what was said, I still cannot decipher it. Kenny says, I've never gotten a single word of that mess. Chris says, holy shit, that's hilarious. Kenny says she would hate knowing you play this still, too. I don't think she would. She'd probably laugh. Cole says, how old was she there? 20? I think 3. She was barely, wait a minute. Wait, was she 2? Yeah, she was. No, she wasn't 2 when we moved here. She was born in August of 2002. We moved here in July of 2004. And I know that was recorded while we were here in Michigan. Adam says, did she ever find it, the DS case? Oh, I don't know. Can you imagine? Hey, honey, I found your DS case. Chris says this was last week. Josh loves the part when she gets mad with, want to talk to mommy? When she loses patience with me because I didn't answer her question right away. Bob goes way back. He says he heard this when it actually happened on the radio. Ryan says, yeah, favorite part. Chris quoting Diana, yay. Kenny writes, all caps, all one word. Do you want to talk to mommy? Kyle says, I really wish we still had Dad, I Gotta Go. We do. I just featured it. When did I feature that? I featured it on, I believe, the Lost Zane recordings. I can grab it right now. I think you're subscribed, aren't you? Or maybe I would. Okay, wait a minute. Not only the Lost Zane recordings, I also made it available via the free platform. I'm pretty sure. Hang on. Give me a second. Yeah. On the Eric Zane show on BBL, I had featured that. So give me a second.
Trying to grab all the...
There's a commercial. I always say, don't bounce over the commercials. Here for you to check out now is in case he produced 3 clips that if you've listened to me, what is that song by Jet? Sick. No. Okay, so this is from May 11th, 2017. I'm sharing this with Julius for the first time. It's already been around for 10 years. I had claimed that I had found an old bit of audio, like a mini disc or something like that, but that's not true at all. Ben had stolen all of the drops from their drop machine as a going away present and gave them to me, which prompted a phone call from Free Beer, who said, I am greatly disappointed in you doing that. You know, one of those talk down to Ben moments because Greg's a fucking bully. Okay. Did you catch it? Jackie.
She's being really loud?
She's being loud, and Jackie says, Dad hit her. She's loud. Stop it. You see, there you go.
That's excellent work on your part, by the way.
Tell her to stop it.
Stop it. Stop it.
And she actually intensifies. Stop it. Oh. Ooh. Jackie goes, hit her. She's loud. At this point, I'm laughing, you know. Ooh. I forgot that it goes this long. Stick with it. It's almost done. I swear to God. It got to the break of the song. This clip will keep people from ever having kids.
Oh, yeah.
At least delay it. Because you're
that
all
one, like, killed my ear.
You're all going to experience this at one point if you have, like Rachel. We should play this for Rachel from Hot FM. This is what you're in for. Madison. Stop it.
Madison, knock it off.
It's working. It's working really well. Knock it off.
Dad hit her. She's loud. Man.
Well, not a bad idea.
The other clip I have stems from New Jersey. And this is, I was roped into doing a spaghetti sauce and meatballs competition. All right, I don't want to get into all this. It's available on the free podcast platform. It says that Lost Zane recordings highlight Easy Rocket launch audio. That is the classic audio of when I won my first cooking contest. I won them all, by the way. Aram says, I don't think he had yet found Dad, I gotta go. Chris says, the birth of Slaughter the Turks meatballs, but the Automod held it for race, ethnicity, or religion. I just allowed it. Uh-oh. Puppy's gotta go potty. All right, I'll be right back because I'm not yet done with this show. There's more things I want to talk about. So stay put, okay? Dog has to go to the bathroom. A comment lost in that screaming video. Julie is referring to hitting Madison. Well, it's not a bad idea. Yeah, that's subtle. Subtle joke. Probably not a joke, though. All right. What the how did I get to this point? I have no idea. You know what's crazy is I had wrote down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. No. Yeah, 5 news stories to talk about, and I got to 1. I got to Jackson Mahomes. That's it. Not quite done yet because I saw an interesting thing at a on that Reddit comment where the guy was bitching about Free Brand Hot Wings doing a bit about loading having a discussion about loading the dishwasher. I've heard more than one person mention that, so I'm glad this person was able to tip me off. It is, I can't really, I think it says Otis Eddie on Reddit. Thank you. I appreciate you checking out the show again. I'm curious, when you were listening to it prior, and then you stopped, and then you came back, is it different now? Can you explain if it's this? I mean, how you interpret what is happening? Because I would like to think that the show is constantly evolving. You know, I could tell you that a long period of time, I was kind of figuring it out as I went. I'm just fortunate that enough people stayed with it and supported that I've been able to do this for a living. Patrick, who is known, I think, as Suspicious Maximum, he's been frequenting the Reddit, and he, like I said, he joined us last week on Ben and Eric as a newbie. He writes, it's funny you mentioned that. I posted something in the FBHW subreddit. And by the way, he posted something in the FBHW subreddit, and they all think it's me because he's bullish on my show. Like, he's gone out of his way to mention it a few times, which is actually very good for me. If people are reminded, and then they might check the show out, which is what I dreamed that more people would check it out. So him doing that helps me. But he was promoting the show, and they were like, yeah, fuck you, Zane. I hate you. Yeah, we know, Zane. Fuck off. I'm like, I didn't do that. I can't post there. And even if the idea of making another handle, Reddit figures that out. They know that. And then you get in trouble. They ban you permanently, so it's not possible. I know, I've tried. But that's not me. It's this guy, Patrick. He writes, I posted something in FBHW to the same effect. That segment kicked off their show following the first Around the Room, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Not sure what they're doing anymore in terms of their content. Now, what he says next about me is he's actually very inquisitive as to how I'm doing what I'm doing. He can't figure out how I get all this shit done. And he's very flattering when he writes it. But I do want to address it not because it's flattering, but I want to explain how it is this all works. Because some people are curious in the old behind the curtain deal, how I do this. He says, Eric's show is leaps and bounds better. Thank you. It's incredible how one man does more with so much less than the 6 of those guys and gals do on FBHW. Now that I am proud of. That is true because I know they're not doing shit. I can hear it. I can sense it. I just know they have zero passion. They're not excited when they start their show. Yeah, I can just tell. And based on what they talk about, nobody gives a shit in that room as to what they're doing. They go in and they're like Looney Tunes, dog punching the time clock. And then hey, how you checking it? Good to see you. Bye-bye. That's what it is. He says you should check out the Patreon. The bonus podcast is worth it alone. Thank you. Who Are These Zanes is my favorite, but Who Are These Free Beers is coming soon as well, which we got a preview of on the Ben and Eric podcast, which is included in the Patreon as well. This guy is a dream. Thank you, Patrick in South Carolina. You are very, very kind. So he's new, and I'm just happy that he's picked up on this shit, because anytime, like all of you that are getting the show right now, I mean, the affirmation just by you being here is similar to what I'm reading in his words. So thank you so much for the amount of time that we've been doing this, 4+ years. Some of you have been with me since the very beginning. So thank you. I feel like we're starting to get to another momentum building moment with this show. I don't know why. I don't know anything else. I don't know what has changed, but I can just almost feel that. And we'll just keep doing this for as long as I possibly can. So thank you. Chris says, then how do they sell to new markets? Just being the cheap show? Yeah. I mean, I'm being honest here. I'm not trying to be a dick. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. Like if you wanted to bring Bob and Tom on your station, there's a cost involved. Freeburn Hot Wings is a barter show. There's no cost. The radio station allows the syndicator to sell ads on that radio station. That's how they make their money. They have tons of inventory because radio stations they can't sell commercials anymore. So they get the programming for free. Freeburn Hot Wings makes a little bit of money from those stations, but not much. You'd be surprised for a show like that. If it was 1992 and you were on that many stations, you'd be earning $3.5 million a year. It's not like that anymore. All right. How I keep my show above water, my head above water, is through my sponsors on this free podcast. Please support them. T-shirts, cameos, Patreon. That's how I do it. Patrick was asking about, I don't know how you get it all done. And the way I do it is just time, because I can wake up and immediately start podcasting. There's no drive time, anything like that. And I work a long day. I mean, I'm not digging ditches. But yesterday, between doing the free podcast, the Patreon, voice tracking Big 101.3, and doing E-Rock's show, I did 5 hours of talking into this microphone. And I was exhausted by 4 p.m. and I fell asleep for an hour. It's not ditch digging, but at the same time, it does drain you. And I have the luxury of being able to just walk in here and do it. And I'm able to get it all done because I do it till 5 every day. And that allows, sometimes I go longer and getting boring work done that needs to be done, just so that I can fulfill all the obligations that I'm committed to. I don't like you to sign up for Patreon and then it's not appropriate if I suddenly don't give you what you signed up for. That is my number one priority. 1 and 1A. All the Patreon content gets up there as promised, unless extenuating circumstances. Sometimes I forget to post the Lost Zane recordings, and then Chris reminds me, but I get it up there. And then don't break that rule because people are there for a reason. And then the other thing is put in the time to do a decent show when you do the free podcast. Those are the two most important things. Everything else will fall into place if you take care of those two things. And I got it down because I've been doing it for so long. Anywho, if you like the show and you want to wear a T-shirt that says you listen to the show, go to ericzaneshow.com and click merch. If you want to advertise with me, your business locally or whatever, doesn't have to be locally, reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com, and I'll tell you how it works. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. So I'm talking about now. If you're in West Michigan and you need to get your vehicle repaired, this is who I'm asking you to visit, and they will not let you down. 616-532-6600. Get it right the first time. The expertise level is through the roof. The constant updating and training for various technologies that make their way through the auto industry. You can never stop learning when you work in that field because of the changing environment of the way automobiles are manufactured these days. And that's one of the things they pride themselves on at Irvine's. This isn't some jackass grease monkey with his pants falling down and who also works the front desk. This is a professional organization, 616-532-6600. Veteran, lady, family owned. If you're along 44th Street, just 2 or 3 blocks east of 131, it's a street called Stafford. That's where they are, right down that street. You can see them from 44th Street. Irvine, 616-532-6600. Thank you, Kent County Health Department, for being part of this show. If your little ones are not vaccinated or you know someone whose little ones are not vaccinated with all the vaccinations for measles, mumps, rubella, whooping cough, pertussis, meningitis, cervical cancer vaccine, you need to get on it. You can get these vaccinations for little or no cost, too, if you qualify. Reach out to the Kent County Health Department at 616-632-7200 or visit them at accesskent.com/health. Maureen says, I'm surprised you don't lose your voice more often, as much as you talk every day. Ryan says, I always assume you made a clean and cool 1.5 mil on the FBHW show. No, sir. We did make a lot for a few years. And then when that ended, that's why I wanted to kill myself. What am I going to do? Aram says, apparently you can just charge people and then post it whenever you want or not. Doesn't matter. Regarding Free Beer and Hot Wings, pre-beer and hot wings show, which is apparently the only thing anybody wants these days on there is the old clips with me in them. Those were good days, to be sure. And whoever posts that, I think it's Steve. It's such a cop-out. It takes about 15 minutes to put a show together. It's very simple. And then you can schedule it to be released. You can work ahead. If I wanted, how do you think when I go on vacation and I post shows every day of the week, I do that? Because all these platforms have a scheduling option. And you just pick the date and the time that it drops. It's simple. You can work smarter. And Steve sucks and refuses to do it because he's terrible at that job, and he's also super lazy. I don't know why anybody wastes their time waiting around for that shit. Hang on. The asshole of the day. I got to get over to, what's his name's house? Oh, my God. Tim Kuiper's house. Because he just made me a new fucking asshole of the day board. And I got to go get it. this is not going to work out. I just ripped off a big chunk of it. Your asshole of the day today. I'm getting nominations. I got a nomination for Kyle from Dumpster Divers for not knowing the difference between pork and whatever else. Pork and lamb. Not knowing what pork is made of. All right. I guess that's possible. But for today, I am going to go with none other than Jackson Mahomes as your asshole of the day. If you was a real black guy, they'd arrested you a long time ago. That's devastating on 2 levels. Okay, that is my time. Thanks for being a great audience as always. You're spectacular. Spread the word about the show. One at a time will increase the audience. I'm here for the duration, so I'm just glad to be a part of it. Thank you for furthering that by supporting me. Okay, till next time. Have a good one, folks. Bye-bye. See you at Bible study.